maybe I have to turn it on first. Exactly. Yes, okay, recommendations. I guess most of you have some clue about what it is. I think this is the classic example. Recommendations on Amazon. So imagine you want to buy some nice Canon lens. Then Amazon can suggest some products which are also bought by the same people who bought this lens. But we, within the Sanoma network, also have some possible places where you can do this, these kinds of recommendations. This is a fairly large news site in the Netherlands, nu.nl. So here we have related articles. I don't know how they're currently calculated. I think it's done manually, or maybe some solar-based stuff manually. And this is Kieskeurig, our price comparison site. And this is actually our recommender, so that's really cool. So given that you're looking at some television, a recommender could come up with suggested products, and in this case it comes up with other televisions. So what is a recommender system? So it's kind of like information retrieval or information filtering, only there you have you kind of have this structured query and you exactly know what you want. And in this case it's a bit more vague, so it has something to do with quality and something to do with taste. And you basically want to guess some rating or preference of a user. Well, why do we want to do this at Sanoma? We have big oaks, so we have to. That's one reason. And one of these oaks tells us, well, we want to do everything completely personalized and fully adjusted to the user. So, well, that's where recommendations come in. Basically, make your site more relevant to the users. So, if we want to do it, we need some data. Yes. We have something called the Sanoma Analytics Collector, SaKE in short, which gives us a lot of raw. There will be one in it. Yes, there it is. So what does it actually? Well, this is one particular log line. It collects a lot of data, the timestamp of an event, the cookie ID, some device information. It logs which site it was, which action. But basically, for this, we want to know this user looked at this product, or maybe bought this product. But let's say we're looking for now. So what this basically is a matrix of a lot of users and some content IDs, products. And well, the first user has looked at the television and the phone, so there's a 1 in the corresponding fields. Using this data, we can apply an algorithm called item-based collaborative filtering. It's only one algorithm, but that's the one I'll try to explain here. And it basically has 2 steps. We try to find similar items, or we try to find similarities between items, and then we can transform the history of a certain user into recommendations. So first, talk about that similarity model. So imagine we want to find the similarity between the car and the phone. So this is looking at the columns of this matrix. And you can represent this product as a set of users. And what you want to do is have some measure between those 2 sets. In our case, we use the phi coefficient. And basically, if the sets completely overlap, so the exact same set of users watches this product and watches that product, then the similarity is 1. If no users overlap, the similarity is -1. So that's basically what we want to do, and some values in between. So for this particular example, imagine we have user 2 and user 4 for car, user 1, user 2, and user 4 for phone. 2/3 overlap. So in this case, the phi coefficient will be, 2/3. And we can do that basically for all our products. And that's actually what this is. It's as simple as that. So there's nothing more to it. I actually inserted the phi coefficients down here. So if you have this Canon 24mm pancake lens, it actually will recommend for you a 40mm pancake lens. All from the same brand, which is kind of nice. And what is actually nice about this is you can, of course, model this by using all this metadata of the product, which is, in some cases it's easy, in some cases it's harder. But this is it doesn't know anything. It only knows user IDs and product IDs. And still it's able to come up with these kind of stuff. So that's step one. So step two is actually moving from a user history towards personalized recommendations. So I'm going to try to explain that in 60 seconds, I think. So imagine we have a user with 2 movies, Terminator and Alien, and we also have these similarities measures, like we just calculated. What we now can do is actually look at the history of this user, find the corresponding similarity measures for all the users, all the movies in the history, and we can see, okay, this user, we recommend Terminator 2 with a score of 0.7, and we recommend Aliens as well. Problems with this, so it's all nice and easy. One downside of this is you have to have this data about the products, and you have to have this data about the user. So if you don't have this, that's what they call a cold start. So if you have a new item, you have no similarity scores, and if you have a new user, you don't have any history. Also, relating to the machine learning things Dirk just say, it's not as easy in this case. So if a user doesn't click on it, it doesn't mean he doesn't like it. He might want to click on it in another case. Don't click doesn't equal don't like. So what we do is A/B test this stuff. This is a result of one of the first tests. This is actually the kieskeurig recommended thing we just saw. This is the fraction of users that click out to a web shop. The green line is the recommender, so that's the good part. In this case, it helps. I'm not entirely sure that if that's going to be like this in other cases. So more tests, that's what we're going to do. Also, an A/B test, this recommender, which is basically code-based, because like I said, it doesn't care about what the products are. It's just a user with a content ID. Yeah, and hopefully we're going to roll this out to more titles in 2015. Thank you very much.
One question before dinner, and then the other questions you can ask during the dinner to Arno. One question.
Yeah, so I was wondering if you want to roll it out to other services like startpagina.nl, will it be logical to expand it to sort of make it a hybrid recommender where you also use content-based features, like for instance, if you have web pages, the content of the web page?
Yeah, I think in general it makes sense to combine this part with other types of recommendations. I guess for various reasons, but maybe you can introduce some domain knowledge and leverage that. And maybe you want to do something for this called start problem to be able to recommend stuff if you don't have history yet.
Okay, so then dinner. We'll be back in 45 minutes. So, okay.